Once again, greetings to you in the matchless name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So, to begin today's message, I would like to ask you a question. I would like to begin with a question. How many of you have role model? How many of you people have role models in your life? Role models? So, we will have just an interactive session. Okay. Just interaction for a quite minute. So, who is your role model? Just quickly, if possible, quickly tell. Don't tell Jesus. Apart from Jesus, who is your role model? Come on, quick. We have very less time today. Any character. I mean, from the Bible, from the outside. Whether it may be a sports person, a politician, anyone. Who is your role model? Okay, in Bible, David. Okay. Sorry? Jaisli auntie. Okay. Two role models, one from the Bible and one from the church. Okay. No role model at all. You? Who is your role model? The Bible? Noah. Okay. Apart from the Bible? Your mother. Okay, super. Okay. You don't have any role model? Any one? Okay. You? David. From the Bible, David. Out of Bible? No one. Okay. He is the one who strictly follows the Bible. Okay. So, there are a lot of role models to follow. And of course, there are some role models whom we follow. Right? There are a lot of role models outside. It may be a secular person, it may be a God-fearing person, it may be a politician, it may be an athlete, a sports person, anyone, your seniors, sometimes a church member, sometimes who impact us through their lives. A lot of times their life, their words, their actions, they teach us something and we make them as role models. And for some, they keep their pastors as their role models and so on. So there are a lot of role models, but we follow several role models, only few role models. We don't follow all the hundreds and thousands of role models, right? All the people. We strictly follow some one or two or three, depends upon. So it is interesting to hear from you all. So each one has different role model. Two David and one Noah from the Bible, and it's quite interesting. And three of you concentrated on the Bible as well as out of Bible. Okay, good. So basically, role models are people whom we follow, right? So we don't keep someone as role models and we just simply keep them. We learn something from them, or we get aspire or inspiration from them. So basically, we don't follow someone who is idle, but we follow someone whom we admire. So who has influence on society, who has a lot of skills, and who has a lot of talents, and who is very popular among people today or on the social media, and people who are so wealthy, and people who are so successful. So all these people we follow, right? We don't follow an idle people group. We follow all these kinds of categories in life. So once we make someone as our role model, we track them daily. Am I right? We track them daily. So we track them through some platforms. So for an example, he told that apart from the Bible, his role model is his mother. So he does not simply tell, okay, my mother is my role model. No, he keeps a track on her, right? So all the day when his mother wakes up from the bed till she goes to the sleep, he tracks a moment, and he keenly listens to her words, her actions. He sees her behavior with the family, in the church, right? So he observes everything, and only then he comes to a conclusion, okay, I have found these many qualities in my mother. So I am going to keep this person as my role model, my mother as my role model. Same with all the other rest of us. So we track them. So people apart from our family and Bible, we follow them, right? On Instagram, we follow them. On Facebook, we make friends or we follow the page. And on WhatsApp group, and nowadays we have WhatsApp channels. So we track a person. So in order to understand what they do or what's their next move, we follow them through all these social medias, through television. If the person is very close, a role model, we probably go for a get together. We will know each other even more well and even more in a possible way, best possible ways. So somehow we will follow them by looking at them or by following on social medias, television, or by interacting with them, having get together, lunch together, so on. So but there are wonderful role models whom we don't know. There are a lot of role models whom we don't have any idea about. So from all your answers, I found one thing. So Sister Vanaja told from the Bible David, and from the church Jaisli auntie, and Stephen told that his mother out of Bible, and from the Bible Noah, and asking he answered David from the Bible. So who is your role model? Who is the role model? Moses is your role model. Okay. Out of Bible, apart from Bible, parents. Okay. So all these things, I have observed one thing, that is, nobody here has any animal, a bird or reptile, insect as your role model, right? Nobody said this. So I take role model, I take lion as role model, elephant as role model. No, right? So everyone focused on a person, right? A person. So nobody told about any animal as role model, a bird or anything apart from human being. So as soon as we hear the word role model, we think of someone, right? A person, a human being. So not an animal, bird, reptile or insect, but a person, a real character, a person who has flesh, blood and bones, who have sixth sense, who looks like or similar to us, so on. So we don't, why we don't take these beings as our role models? Can anyone tell? Sorry? Okay. So from this point of view, I mean, what you have answered, why you did not take or consider these animals or any bird or reptile, any insect as your role model? What's the reason? So out of all these people, no one answered in such a way. What would be the reason? It did not strike up on mind. So as soon as we hear the word role model, immediately we go to a conclusion that, okay, role model must be a person. Okay. So because these animals or other creatures, other animals or birds, they don't have sense like us. They don't have sense like us. So we have how many sense? 6 sense. And the other creatures, other beings, they gradually decrease from us. So they don't have the same sensing level or the senses as we have. So we don't take these beings as a role model. And they don't look like us. They don't look like us. They don't wear any white shirts today. They don't wear any trousers, any belt or watch, anything. So they don't look like us. So next thing, they don't talk like us. If you go and ask a dog, how are you? It will bark. It won't answer you. Okay, I'm good. It won't tell, or it won't communicate in our language. So that's why we don't consider them as our role models. They don't think like us, right? They don't think like humans. So very very sensitive and problem solving, and all these things they can't do. So all the complications are there. So these are some answers which we give. So they don't look like us, they don't talk with us, they don't have anything with us, they're just simply creatures here and there. So that's why I'm not considering them, so on. So see, there are wonderful and beautiful lessons which we, when we observe them, can learn from them. Even to be honest, even from the people we can't learn such lessons. Even people become bad role models for us. But these creatures and these little beings, they teach us wonderful and beautiful lessons for our lives. So we think that only big things, only the larger ones, larger creatures teach us great models or great lessons to our life. But in fact, smaller things can do more than that. Smaller things can do more than that. Especially from the Bible, we see small creatures. So very, very small, very, very tiny creatures that God created, made as a role model for human, for us today. So is it a believing factor? God, from the Bible we see a lot of role models, humans. And also on the other hand, God has created these little creatures, little animals, birds and so on, as our role models, to be our role models. So today we are going to meditate from the book of Proverbs, mainly from chapter 30, verse 24 to 28. Proverbs 30, 24 to 28. I believe that God will show us something special today from these little creatures. He's going to teach us great values from this meditation. So let us turn our Bible to Proverbs chapter 30, verse 24. Proverbs 30, 24. It says, 4 things on earth are small, but they are exceedingly wise. I once again read. 4 things on earth are small, but they are exceedingly wise. So it's like a riddle. It's like a riddle. So how many of you have played this riddle? Not this verse riddle, but how many of you have played riddles? Tamil we call it as vidugadai. How many of you have played? Everyone have played in a childhood or young age, anything. So this verse, it starts like a riddle, like a vidugadai, like a riddle. So from this reading, we notice that God, through Agur, reveals us that not just people all the time being as role models, but also the inferior beings. So many times we don't value small things in life, right? Am I right? We don't literally value small things in life. So if your parents gift you a small pen, will you be surprised? You won't be surprised. You will just take that, okay, thank you, and you will place it somewhere. But what if your parents gift you an iPad or a computer or a gadget, a mobile phone? How will you react to it? Sorry? Okay? Just answer, no problem. How will you react when your father gives you an iPad or an Apple phone or anything, a smart watch, anything? How will you respond, or how will you feel? Shock. He will be amazed. He will be literally shocked. So, if the current goes off and all the charge from your gadgets, from your watch, from your smart watch, the battery from your iPad, or the battery from your phone, mobile phone, everything is now dried up. Where will you go? What will you do? We will take that simplest pen and write, right? So when parents or someone gives us a very small thing, we won't value that more. But once they give a huge thing or an expensive thing, we just keep on telling to some people or some friends with whom we are very close. So small things, we don't consider them many times. and we don't even care about them. That pen or that pencil, anything, very small gift, won't be uh, that much important to us. We don't just give attention to that. So in our birthdays, how many of you have gifted someone on their birthdays? Gifted. How many of other people have gifted you on your birthdays? So we have gifted someone and we have received gifts. Let's take our perspective. Which gift will you open first? So 10 friends are there, and some 7 to 8 friends, they gift you a big box, and other rest of 3 or 2 people gift very simple package, very small one. Which package will you, or which gift box you will open first? It's a human nature to open the big box, to find out what's inside that. We will keep the small gifts aside. We will think, okay, that there will be something. Okay, then I will see it later. But all these 7 gifts we will open, and we will see, and we will assemble it, or we will enjoy it. And only then we will go to the small box and we will do. That's 99% of people does this, right? So we don't even care about the little things. So we don't even take them into consideration. Some people I have seen, if the gift is very small, they just throw away. They just throw away, thinking that, oh, this won't help me. This won't be anyhow. It won't be suitable for me. But they do not value the person, but their efforts. We don't know how much money they had, but simply these people, they do not consider such gifts because it is very small, because it is not so expensive. So, but when we pay attention to these small creatures that we are about to listen today, when we pay attention and grasp them and look them, there we start to become wise. That's the point where we become wise, start to become wise. So small creatures, they also have a lot of values. So today I'm going to give you an assignment, and I will tell what assignment is that. Okay, just do that and you will learn a lot of lessons from it. So these little creatures, they teach us lot more lessons, but we just skip them. We just don't care about them. We don't consider them. So verse 24 opens like this with a number. 4 things on earth are small. So everything which is on earth, the created things, everything is created by God. Right? Everything is created by God. So this verse indirectly takes us to the creation of God. It talks about God's creation. So days of creation, we see at the day 1, we see God created the light. Light was the first thing which God created. And day 2, he created the atmosphere or the firmament. Day 3, the dry ground and the plants and trees and herbs and other things. Day 4, we see sun, moon and stars. Day 5, birds and sea creatures. And day 6, land animals and humans. And day 7, God went to take rest, which means the Sabbath, which is he has completed everything. So these 7 days of creation, it talks more about God's wonderful work that he did on the starting history of the earth. So God is the creator of each and every one. He is the creator of each and everything which we see on the earth. Whether you accept this or agree with me or not, this is the fact. So in order to be a creation on earth, there must be a creator. Without an artist, there won't be an art. Right? So this earth did not just simply blast out of something and just became wonderful or beautiful. So if a blast had happened, so when you go on the highways, you see a lot of accidents taking place, which is two cars dashing together, colliding with together, or blasting some distance. Will that place look beautiful? Will a blast scene look beautiful? No, it doesn't. Everywhere we see all the broken pieces and scattered things. That area won't be looking nice, looking beautiful, looking good, right? Same thing for the creation of the earth. If the earth is just splashed out of something and bursted out of something, that's just got exploded out of something, we can see only the bits and pieces on the scattered things around. We cannot see a beautiful pattern on earth. So when you see scenery, we just see it with an awful heart. Wow, wonderful. How can we tell, wow, wonderful? Because it is very catchy and it is so attractive. Just like an accident doesn't look attractive, so an earth which has exploded, I mean, many people believe that it was exploded. An exploded thing cannot be beautiful. So, God is the artist. He was the designer. He was the creator. He was the source of life. So he created everything. So that is why we see a lot of animals and birds and reptiles. Does a dog look like an elephant? How this uniqueness came? Because there was a creator, and that creator is still today, and that's the God whom we serve. So there should be no doubt or no confusion in the creation of the earth. So God is the creator of each and every living being on this earth. So each and every living thing is created for a purpose. You and I have a purpose. A dog has a purpose. A cat has a purpose. A dolphin has a purpose. An elephant, lion has. Each and every living creature or living being has a different purpose in living. And it all has a uniqueness. So whether in looks or whether in behaviors. So I cannot behave like you. You cannot behave like me. So with humans there are uniqueness. Your thumb prints won't match to anyone in the entire world. How does it how is it possible? Right? It's interesting. Similar. We just see, oh, that's a dog, but that patterned dog, its behaviors won't match it to any other dog. So everything is created uniquely with a purpose. So, for an example, a lion does not carry burdens like a donkey. Doesn't any time carry it? Okay, master, I will carry all the cloths. Let's go to the river. And once you wash, just put on my shoulders, on my back. I will carry it wherever you want. Will any lion tell this? No. A lion does not carry burdens like donkey, nor a dog jump from one tree to another tree like a monkey. Can we see any dog jumping from one tree to another tree? No. So this behaviors, several behaviors of an animal doesn't match to other species, other things. So everything is uniquely created and for a purpose. So it functions differently. So though these creatures are too small, the verse says, 4 creatures are very small. So these creatures are very too small, but they have great values. They have great values. The verse says, but they are exceedingly wise. Exceedingly wise. So, exceedingly wise means to a very great degree, to surpass others, to be at the top, the excellent ones. What are those 4 things? Number 1, verse 25 it says, the ants are a people not strong, yet they provide their food in the summer. the ants are not people, are people not strong, yet they provide their food in the summer. So the verse says, these ants are not stronger, they are not like us, they don't have six packs, they don't have muscles, they don't have arms, they don't have strong bones like you and me, they don't look like us, they don't have a strong jaw, they don't have a wrist to punch someone. No. Instead, they are very, very, very tiny creatures. Very, very tiny creatures. So, if you blow on an ant, what happens? It just flies away. It cannot withstand your blow. So, if you blow on an ant, it just flies away. It just goes anywhere. So, or if you crush them, they just die there itself, right? It can't withstand our strength. So, they cannot fight with any other creatures. They cannot go back and fight with any other creatures. They can't do anything. They are the simplest thing on earth. But the verse says, yet they provide their food in the summer. How is it possible? Yet they provide their food in the summer. So how many of you have watched or noticed this ant? A team of ant? How many of you are thinking, is that a work for me to go back, to go behind these ants and watch? How many of you have watched? I have watched. I have done some experiments, kept sweets and took it. Okay. So we would have heard many stories on ant and how they gathered food in the summer. So they are very much working hard guys who always work throughout their lifetime. They work. So it doesn't think that it is very small. I'm very small. I'm very incapable. I have no strength like other creatures. I'm very tiny. It doesn't think, or it doesn't underestimate itself, but does its work very perfectly. Does it work very perfectly? So it doesn't sit at home. Okay, someone will bring me food. Someone will take me to home. Someone will somehow give or help me or aid me. Nothing. They don't spend time at their homes. I mean, nest or anywhere. They take rest. But goes to the field. It goes to the place where the food is. They risk their life and carry it home. 24/7, it works non-stop. Even at the night time, you go and switch on your torch or a phone torch. See, the ants will be working. See, at the daytime, it works. At the early morning, it works. I don't know how it works so hard. I don't know whether it takes rest. Is that the same ant which is working, or that ant goes for the shift and makes? No, not like that. So each and every ant, everyone works. We can't see a single ant which takes rest, which just places its leg like this and takes some leisure time. No, 24/7 it works. Number two, what the verse says is that the rock badgers are a people not mighty, yet they make their homes in the cliffs. The rock badgers are a people not mighty, yet they make their homes in the cliffs. So, verse 26 talks about rock badgers, which means mountain rats. Here in our church, we go through a tough time with these rats, which often visit our church room and spoil something that we have kept previous weeks. It's fine. So these rock badgers are the mountain rats. They don't stay on home or any office place or anything, garage or anything. They stay on the mountains. They live on the mountains. So on the high places they live. So these rock badgers, these mountain rats are not mighty. They don't have muscles. They don't look like a WWE wrestler. They don't look like a MMA player, MMA wrestler, or any karate player or anyone. They don't look like them. So it's a very weak creature, very, very weak. Weak at fighting back. It's a powerless being, similar to ant. Rock badgers cannot fight back. So they just go inside rock holes or cracks in cliffs and hide themselves from other animals because they are not mightier. They cannot wage war against other species. Most often people don't even look at these creatures on the mountains because they rarely see it. It won't be visible all the time. Though they are not mightier, the verse says, yet they make their homes in the cliffs or the mountains. Look at its action. It builds its home in the rock cliffs. Building homes on solid ground is very easy, right? Building on solid ground, a plain place is very easy. But to build something on the mountain, that too on the cliffs, it's very hard. So it needs to scoop the rock or the sand with its mouth or with its hand, leg, anything. It needs to place its mouth or hand, and it just scoops the entire rock, or it makes path inside the rock and cliffs. So if they build their homes on the ground, some animal will come and attack them, and they are going to destroy their homes or destroy their lives completely. But these mountain rats, these rock badgers, build their home on the cliffs. Number 3, the locusts have no king, yet all of them march in rank. Verse 27 says, the locusts have no king at all, yet all of them march in rank. So we would have definitely seen this insect, locusts. Looks like a grasshopper. So in the book of Exodus, we see this creature, and the 8th plague in Egypt was this locusts. So the locusts covered the face of the land and swallowed up every crop and all the fruits of the tree, which we read from the book of Exodus. So they just came there and destroyed everything just as God instructed them to do. So these locusts go to a place like an army, in a groups, in a multitudes, large, but they don't have a king. Interesting one, right? In the honeybee, they have a queen bee. But these locusts do not have any king. They do not have any king to rule them, to instruct, to guide them. No king at all. So an importance of a king is to make an order. He orders the army, he places them, he leads them, he protects them. But see, these locusts, they do not even have a king to lead them. They do not have a king to guide them, to order them, but still they march in ranks. They go in an order. So we can see an order so organized, well trained. So even though people have king, so they sometimes don't listen. They don't sometimes walk properly in the rules and regulations of a king. But see, without even having any king, this locusts, they just mark in a very punctual way, in a very organized way. Number 4, the last verse, it says, the lizard you can take in your hands, yet it is in king's palace. The lizard you can take in your hands, yet it is in king's palace. 28th verse, the final verse, it talks about lizard. How many of you are afraid of lizard? Lizard. How many of you are afraid of lizard? No? You will just, boys, we will go and throw it away. Sometimes when people see lizard in their rooms, in bathrooms or in their living rooms, they just scream, they just come out shouting, oh, help me. There's something as if that small lizard is like a dinosaur. It's just going to swallow them. They will just shout and just run out of the home. So, but we can catch that lizard in our hands. It's very small, right? It's not like an alligator, so big, or like a crocodile, very large. No. This lizard is very small. We can catch them in our hands, very, very small. Meaning, not difficult to hold it, very small, small in size. Though we might catch in our hands, we see it is in the king's palace. See, a king is well protected, right? He has an army around him 24/7 to guard him, to guard his family, everyone. He has a lot of companies, secretaries, and everyone around him. Nobody can easily approach a king. He's very secured, well secured person. So he has lots of people to guard him. So though the king may have all kinds of protection, lizard does not fear anyone. Lizard does not think, oh, this king has a great army, so I am not going there to his place. No, it doesn't consider or it doesn't fear any kingdom. It doesn't fear any kings or any army, any weapons, anything. It simply goes inside the palace and lives. Look where it lives. It lives inside the king's palace. So today, 4 things that we learn from this meditation. Though these meditations are very small, it teaches us some greater values. So from today's meditation, we can observe 4 important things from these 4 inferior beings. Why I call it as inferior beings is people don't care about them. They're very small in size. They don't consider them. They just don't see them as great models. But see what they teach. From ants, we can learn hard work. Hard work. It works very hard. Day and night, 24/7. Every time it works hard. So from the ants, we learn the word hard work. The character hard work. Number 2, from the rock badgers, from the mountain rats, we learn cleverness. Cleverness. See how clever it is. It's not cunning, but clever. Cunning is with an intention of bad intention. Cunningness means. But cleverness means a kind of wisdom. It is not lazy, it's very clever. It does not build its home on the ground. It is very clear and clever to build its home on the rock cliffs. So from the rock badges we learn this cleverness. Number 3, from the locusts we can take this word called discipline. It does not have any king to rule them, to tell, oh, go, stand here, stand 1 arm distance, do this or do that. No king to command them, to rule over them. But even though they do not have anyone to lead them, they go in ranks, which means they go in an orderly way. They all go to one place together. So discipline. And number 4, from the lizard, we can learn boldness. It doesn't care which king is ruling. It doesn't care whether it is Napoleon or Alexander the Great or Julius Caesar or Nero or any like Ashoka. What all the kings you know? Ashoka kingdom, and then? Huh? Okay, another king. So for this lizard, it doesn't see who is ruling. It doesn't see the army. It doesn't see the weapons the kings or the warriors or the army has. With a boldness, it simply goes to the king's palace and it lives. Even a great king lives in the same home, same room, or same place. This small lizard, it boldly lives on the same place where the king dwells, where the king speaks, where the king's court is, where the king's bedroom is. See how boldful, how much boldness it has. So the title for today's message is Superior Lessons from Inferior Beings. Superior lessons, greater lessons from smaller beings. That is today's title. So don't forget to go back and do the assignment which I'm about to give you. The assignment is, go watch all these things. Probably you're not going to find rock badges on your homes. Just search it browse it. But you can find this ant, this lizard, how much bold they are, hardworking they are. So never forget this hard work from ant, cleverness from the mountain rats, rock badges, and discipline from this locusts, boldness from this lizard. So see, very, very little and tiny and unrecognized creatures, but teaches 4 wonderful values in our lives. So have you ever thought about this? I was also meditating about this, and I thought how to understand this lizard. It goes to king's palace and stays, and only then I found, okay, boldness. Okay, see how much bold it is. So just go try to observe some values from the creatures that are around us. Sparrows, it wakes up early at the morning. And dog, it is very thankful to its owner. And cats, it is also thankful. It stays at the same home. When you make it so comfortable, it won't go away. Similar like dogs. And elephant, if you go and comfort an elephant, even after so many years, they are not going to forget you. They will anyhow recognize your voice, your behaviors, your body language. See how much greater values they are. Today, go back, go home and observe these things, read about these things, and God will teach us more values from these simple, inferior beings. Let us look to the Lord in prayer.